Shabbat Shalom, Israel. Giving all honor and praises to the Most High God and His Son, Yahweh. We're coming to you, the Battle Axes, with another Sabbath class. It's called We Are the Real Jews. And like we was talking about earlier, what prompted this class is that shooting in Jersey City, where they say the brother and the sister had links to Hebrew Israelite group. And we want to discuss that thing to debunk what they trying to do. They're trying to lump us as with the black extremists, or what they call black extremists, and try to say that we terrorists. Because I even heard Roland Martin, a so-called black man over here, talking with calling us terrorists. Who has we touched? What have we done to anybody but teach the Bible? This word so strong that it's cutting them. And they want to call us terrorists and lump us with people that actually has did horrific crimes to us, who has hung us, killed us, murdered us, raped us, kidnapped. We ain't done none of that. As a matter of fact, the so-called black African-American people in this country hadn't done anything to white people. But yet, when we raise up as being a nation, now we are an extremist group. Come on, man. We're going to go into that thing, man. And we're going to start with this article from the New York Times talking about this situation. Yeah.
This is out of the New York Times, published December 11, 2019. The Black Hebrew Israelites.
What?
The Black Hebrew Israelites.
So starting right there, this is a byword that they put on us. We are the Hebrew Israelites, the children of Israel. But they got to put that byword on there. Nobody else on the planet is saying they're Israelites but us, but yet they still put black on there. So the first words they starting with is bywords.
And we know that that's purposely done, because what do we always say we at their camp? This for the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. So that's not just one group, man. You know, we are a nation of people. Like Ox said, the Israelites have always been dark-skinned people. Go ahead, Ox.
You got the precept out. Who's that precept?
The precept on it is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 37. Just like Ox saying, they calling us the Black Hebrew Israelite. Look, man, they're going to show some. They're going to show some respect, man. The thing is, man, we already know we are astonishment in the proverb, but guess what? They're trying to demoralize us in front of our own people, man.
And our own people going for us. Like I said, Roland Martin and his panel of African Americans sitting up here talking about putting us in the same boat with real terrorists. The real hate group is the so-called white man. That's right. And we can pull that out the Bible. We can pull it from history.
Thank you.
Because if they want to go to hate groups throughout the time history, from the time of the Greeks, they have brought their hate and their evil and been enslaving us and persecuting us. But we the hate group. We ain't touched them, man. We still ain't touched them. And we're going to go into that. Real Israelites know that our weapons of war ain't carnal. Right. So how is he an Israelite? Well, he the brother Israelite by blood. But spiritually, how is he an Israelite if he going doing something like that? When we know vengeance is mine, says the Lord.
That's right.
Read on up.
You got that? Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment.
What are we going to become?
An astonishment.
It's an astonishment right now. That's why they're trying to put us down, the Black Hebrew Israelite, because they can't believe we raising up for them. But that's, we coming out with Bibles and books, and they still gonna try to put us with extreme groups that's packing weapons. Read on up.
A proverb.
A what?
A proverb.
If you want to hide something from a nigga, put it in a book. That's for a majority of our people that they don't want to look in no book. But we the ones that's breaking that curse right there and going into the books. Read on.
And a byword among all nations.
Among who?
All nations.
It ain't say some nations, it said all nations. And what we need to understand is all nations are against Israel.
That's right.
That's why they got a UN and ain't no Israelites in there to represent us. Because all nations been against us. We're gonna pull that.
Even that byword, like we say, Black Hebrew Israelite. A byword is being called outside of your God-given name. You know, Black Hebrew Israelite, you won't find it in the Bible, man. Nowhere in the scriptures do you look. And then when we look at us, we come in different shades of brown. We're not a crayon in a Crayola box, man. You know, we are a nation, a race of people, man.
That's a race of people. You got that right. But our people so destroyed for a lack of knowledge that they can't even comprehend being a nation of people on their own.
Mhm.
They want to be, they got to attach themselves to the white man. Oh, I'm African American. Jesse Jackson put that term out in 1985. You still got to attach yourself to the white man. Then we detach ourselves like the Lord told us to, separate from these people spiritually, because we can't do it physically. We still got to be in captivity. But spiritually, when we separate, they got a problem with that thing, man.
And this lets you know how to discontinue, how discontinue was, because just like when Jesse Jackson was saying, we blacks. Guess what, man? You guess. Won't you go read your Bible and ask your God who you are, man? But a lot of our people don't want to go reverence the Lord. They want to reverence their own self or reverence what a man said, man. And we go to this Bible, the Bible tells us who we are. We can identify who we are because we read the Bible now. We're not being taught by the other nations who we are. We can go in there and actually identify ourselves, man.
If you think these people don't know who we are and don't know that they come from Edom, you got another thing coming. They wouldn't move like this if they didn't know. If you think Jews don't know they ain't the real Jew, you got another thing coming. That's why they move like this. How come the Chinese is a race of people over here in America, but we ain't? Because they want us scattered amongst them so they can keep their foot on our neck. Because as long as we scatter sheep, we can't come together. So, and that's another thing I wanted to bring up. How is a hate group when all the camps ain't even together? But they say it's hate group. It's different camps, and some camps got different philosophies. Black people ain't even in unity together. The camps ain't even all the way in unity together. So how is we one hate group? And they can link him to the Black Hebrew Israelite group. Man, that's folly, man. Read this one that up.
Depends on that. Yeah. The Black Hebrew Israelites have been labeled as a hate group.
As a what?
It's a hate group.
Come on, man. We hate, they hate us. We trying to defend ourselves. Oh, don't dare raise up back against the white man. Then you a terrorist. But they the biggest terrorists on the planet. Who dropped bombs on Black Wall Street?
That's right.
Who went up in Rosewood, raped, killed, and robbed everything?
Right.
Who brought us on slavery on slave ships?
That's right.
Did we do that?
Nope.
So we do hate. We got a right to hate.
That's right.
Because if somebody snatched you from your home, separated you from your family, molested your children, and took everything you had, you wouldn't hate them. The white man hate everybody just because they won't do what they tell them to do. But we a hate group. Well, I'm pretty sure the Arabs over there hate the white man. I'm pretty sure the Chinese hate the white man. Everybody hate the white man too.
And the thing is, the modern day of us, like I was going into, they took the man out of home, and then they made the women go against the man. All of this was a plot against us. But guess what? The Bibles even say just like they bring it up to the modern day. We got to go to work all day long. We come home, we tired. We can't enjoy our children. We can't enjoy our wives. Man, we can't even enjoy the little change that we make. We can't even do nothing. Can't even do nothing to enjoy that because it's back to it every day, every single day. We are consumed by the things that they tell us to get. Matter of fact, let me get a precept. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 41. This is part of the curse because the Bible said we won't enjoy our children, man, because of this thing, man. Read that up.
Deuteronomy 28:41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them.
The Bible said we won't even enjoy them, man. If this is not a curse, this is not the curses applied to us, man, to identify who we are. Man, I don't know who the hell it is. Read up.
But thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity.
Because they shall go into captivity. That's what we're doing every day. In captivity all day long, man. Guess what? They control how we talk. They control how we do. They're opening dang on mouth and they telling y'all who we are. That's what they want us to do. These niggas shut up. They want to take us even to our workplace to tell us to go shut up, man.
They ready to throw their own First Amendment right out just so we can be quiet.
Yeah, for real.
You know what? We finna do away with that. White people gonna be like, but what about us? Well, no, we can't have them talking.
And that's what we tell brothers and sisters, man. It's very important that you teach your children. As much time we understand we're in captivity, brothers and sisters have to work. It be hard enough, but you have to make that time to teach your children who they are, to give them the proper understanding according to the Bible. Put it all out there on the table, man. We can't spread their feelings either, because guess what? They got to grow up in this as well. So we have to teach our children. Go ahead, Doc.
We finna show you who the real hate group is. Let's go to the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35. We'll show you who the real hate group is. We just hard-headed and stiff-necked to the Most High God. If we got back right with him, we'll be all right.
One thing we hate is our each other.
Yeah, and you got that right out. Black people hate black people. That's what we hate. We hate ourselves. They ain't got a problem with this so-called hip-hop music because all we doing is spitting hate towards ourselves. That's all right. But let a brother play some Hebrew Israelite music where it's talking about putting your foot on Esau's neck. Now that's hate music right there. Man, come on, man. Put your foot on Esau's neck. Now we hate.
But you can kill your own brothers on all of it.
Exactly. And they're going to pay you millions of dollars to talk about doing that. Let's read that out.
Ezekiel 35, verse 2. Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it.
So this is going into Mount Seir is Edom, Esau. So brother Ezekiel prophesied against him. Let's see what he said in verse 5. Huh?
Verse 5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred.
Thou hast had what?
A perpetual hatred.
Uh-huh.
And has shed the blood of the children of Israel.
A perpetual hatred. That's a continual hatred. These people is born into this world and they don't even know why they hate black people. Because it's embedded in their DNA. Since their forefather Esau, they've been hating. He been hating his brother Jacob. And they doing the same thing. They has a continual hatred and has shed the blood of the children of Israel. Read on.
By the force of the sword.
By what?
By the force of the sword.
Uh-huh.
In the time of their calamity. In the time that their iniquity had an end.
They're doing that same thing right now today. We in the time of our calamity again. And they shedding the blood. You got white civilians shedding the blood of Israelites. The police shedding the blood of Israelites. The military shedding the blood of Israelites. Whereas we shedding their blood. All these so-called hardcore gangsters ain't touching no white people. They only touch black people and Hispanic people. But they gangsters. I used to believe coming up in this world that black people was the hardest people on the planet. That is not true. We the weakest people on the planet for killing our own soldiers. Crips and Bloods are the weakest people on the planet. Vice Lords and GDs are the weakest people on the planet. You are not hard. And when you watch 48 Hours, you really see how pathetic it is. Brothers killing brothers for nothing. The white man really ain't got to do nothing. So who we really hate?
So that goes into the curse. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
That's right.
So we so destroyed to the point, guess what? To make our slave master happy, we got to do something to make him happy.
Sambo Coon.
Read that last part, that last sentence of the comma, after the comma. In the time.
In the time of their calamity. In the time that their iniquity had an end.
See, and at this time right now, that's what's happening. That's why it get like that. Because we coming out of sin. We going back doing the law, statutes, and commandments. And that's what it said. In that time that the iniquity had an end. So they know, man, when we get back to these law, statutes, commandments, they like, uh-oh, there's something going on. They're coming out of sin. And they know from Judith 5:20 that if we don't have sin, our God will come to work for us and go show out for us. And they see that and they like, oh no, gotta start accusing them of everything. Gotta start assassinating their character.
Guess what they trying to do? They trying to cradle some of us back in their arms so they can put it. They try to go to our so-called leaders, which are not our leaders, the entertainers and actors. They go to them and get what they do. They put them in their arm and try to rock the baby, trying to rock us back to sleep. That's what they want to do. They get hoping that they rock us back to sleep so they can keep us oppressed.
That's why you got your Roland Martins and your Al Sharptons and your Jesse Jacksons. Those black Hebrew Israelites, they just as worse as the white man. I'm looking at this like these ain't nothing but some traitors because y'all got it all wrong. I bet you they never once looked and seen what we was talking about. Because if you open up this Bible, all of them swear they Christians. But when you open up this Bible and you line up what an Israelite saying, I don't care what group you choose. It's going to be truth coming out. But when you go to the Christian church, they lie. But you going to sit up on that side with the white man. That's fine. Because the Most High going to deal with that thing, man. Let's get some more of this art.
Going on that. The black Hebrew Israelites have been labeled a hate group. The suspect wrote an anti-Semitic and anti-police post, an official said.
Anti-Semitic. Now,
hold up. Brother Body, what do anti-Semitic mean?
It means someone that's against the Khazar Jews.
Make it plain. Brother Keenan, what do anti-Semitic mean? Well, yeah, it means that, but give our people to understand it. What does Semitic means? Go ahead, Brother Shaya.
Semitic means that you come from the line of Shem.
That's right.
You're Semite. We are Semitic. And they try to say anti-Semitic going into the Ashkenazi Jews, but we are those people. So it's like a 42 fake out. We call it anti-Semitic.
now,
But we're
Go ahead,
we're from the tribe of Shem. That's right. So
yeah, the same thing. But guess who else is from Shem? Who else is from Shem?
Esau.
And who else?
Eric,
And who else?
Aiden.
Exactly. All of them are Shemitic. So how can we be anti against yourself?
That's right.
See, Esau plays on our ignorance because they know we don't know that type of stuff. Because they dropped the H and now they just spell it with S-E-M. Go ahead,
and think they own it.
Exactly.
But when we go into the Bible, like the brother said, man, it's an easy breakdown, man. Who do they think they playing with? Simple-minded Christians is who they playing with. Because you ain't playing with us. Because this our book. You can't pull the wool over our eyes with that crap no more. Now we against ourselves. Because we against you. Y'all against us, so y'all anti-Semitic. Come on, man. We can flip it right back on them. Do we got an anti-defamation league that we can put something on them about? These people foolish, man.
Man, do we got a social media platform to say, hey, to call out the wickedness that they doing to us? Man, we can't call out no injustice. If we can't use their social media, we can't just like we got to go to their YouTube. We got to go to everything that they got to post, to let our people know who we are.
And the only thing that we got that we can do is go to the street corners, and they want to shoot because they know they can't control that. As much as they try to, they can't control that. Us on the street corners running our mouth with the Lord, with the Lord's words.
And well, I'm glad that you said that. That's why it's so important to hit the streets, man. We cannot be Facebook Israelites, keyboard Israelites. Brothers, we got to rise up as a nation and go into the highways and byways. Let us show them our light shining, man. Because guess what? When we out there setting that example, man, that thing don't go out void, man. People see that thing, and then more importantly, they hear it. Then they seeing brothers rising up, keeping the commandments as thus said the Lord. So we got to get from behind those keyboards and come put in this work with the brothers, man.
Right? In a minute, I mean, all those keyboard Israelites, in a minute, your ministry about to be shut down in a minute. As soon as they turn off Facebook, your ministry done.
And they can shut it down.
As soon as they turn off YouTube, your ministry is done. What you gonna do with that? Sit up there and go in the mirror and argue with yourself? Because that's what you do on Facebook. You want an argument about the Bible? Go on Facebook, post something, post anything. In the beginning, you're gonna have about 30 comments. It wasn't in the beginning. They're gonna argue about something. That's all they do. But like I said, like the brother said, man, it's time to get out for that. Get out to these street corners. That's where they have a problem when they see us out on them streets all over the nation. They be like, man, now, oh yeah, you can see they're gonna have a military out there. You'll see tanks rolling down the streets when we do that.
Esau be like, I ain't the smartest man in the world. I know something going on.
Yeah.
These brothers rising up reading Bibles, man.
Real. Something going on. And we're going to go into that. It is not a movement. This is an awakening. that the Most High had already prophesied was gonna happen. They even knew. In the Will of Lynch, they said, unless a phenomenon occurred. Well, the phenomenon is here.
Mhm. And that's something they knew about before that time. That's why he even said that, because of he already knew that the thing that might come. They wasn't prepared for it. They thought they was going to be prepared for it. Then they got relaxed. See, the Most High get them relaxed too, to where they think it ain't nothing finna happen. Because for a long time, what was that? The Catholic Church said, "No, I guess Jesus is not going to return." But he said that in 2019 because he was looking at 400-year prophecy, what he thought. But the fact that the matter, Most High had them sitting back too. They ain't thinking, "Oh, ain't nothing gonna happen." And all of a sudden, it's happening. Now they in a rush, they in a hurry, they in a panic. Go ahead, Art.
So, like the brother was reading over here, they said he posted anti-Semitic posts and anti-police posts. Now, why would we be for police? Just realistic. They ain't never been for us. They don't serve. I don't even want no dealings with no police. Not good nor bad. I'd just rather not even deal with you at all. So you don't know what kind of experiences brothers have had with the police.
And the thing is, why? Listen, this is so simple. If y'all want to stop the police from governing your home, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven, and all these things will be added to you. If you govern your home through this Bible, you don't have to call them. Why do we call another nation of police of law enforcement, and we already got a law? If we just follow our own law,
we are the police.
Gun. We just follow our own law. We don't need them. If me and my wife, we go arguing and we go back and forth, guess what? We can solve this. Let's go to this Bible. That's simple.
Yep. That's
Go ahead up.
So, brother, they talking about you put anti-police posts. Well, everything they stand for is anti-us. So they just want to make that an excuse or a reason. But what does that have to do with the price of butter or the cost of tea in China? Yeah, it's a lot of people it's white people put anti-police posts. Those people who go around with the cameras going to the police, filming them. What kind of posts is those?
And then they got a couple of races a couple of terrorists on TV. They want to call them terrorists because Dr. Dre and Ice Cube, God dang, they came out with the worst post you can have. F the police. You know what I'm saying? But y'all got them making movies.
Exactly.
Dr. Dre over there doing what he do, in somebody else's bed, not a woman.
Read on that.
Matter of fact, let's go to Zechariah 11:5.
Zechariah 11:5. Let's see why the brother posted an anti-police post. Let's see why. Let's see what the Bible says.
Real.
Like Zechariah 11:5. Whose possessors slayed them?
Who what?
Whose possessors slayed them?
It's a street teaching precept we bring out. Whose possessors slayed them? If you got the name of a so-called Caucasian person as your last name, that means your family was the possession of a white family. So that's why I say whose possessors slayed them. So we getting slaved by our possessors. Read on.
And hold themselves not guilty.
And do they not hold themselves not guilty? Even when they come up in your house unawares and kill you, that little time she gonna get ain't even nothing, man. But when you watch 48 Hours and a brother kill another brother, they lock them up for life. But the possessor can kill you you get 5 years. You get time served, probation, and a GoFundMe that'll make you rich after you done did it. Because the majority of these white cops have went not guilty or haven't been charged.
Yeah. Read that 4.
Verse 4. Thus said the Lord, my God, feed the flock of the slaughter.
Feed the flock of the slaughter. We the ones getting slaughtered. Ain't nobody in the man. They got everybody and their mama drive these cars, going in the stores, stealing, doing whatever. Even Africans. But no, and they supposed to look like what they guns got identity caps on them, because they made everybody. You see a white man you can go on to any Anybody, pull out the phone, look it up. You see a white man sitting there in front of the police with a gun, talking, pointing a gun, doing it like this, cussing them out, and they talking to him.
Brother, just put the gun down, brother.
Yeah,
please,
but a little 12-year-old with a toy, you don't even bother to ask, is that a toy or real?
So
Just shoot him.
I got a question. I got a question for everybody watching. When is the fake Jew going through that? When is where they going through that at? They the lawyers, they the police, that they will come after you. That's how they set up. So them getting shot by whose possession were they? What slavery did they go into? What captivity have they been in? That's why they want to keep pushing the Holocaust. That 4-5 years, we've been through thousands of years of captivity.
Yeah.
And they want to bring up 4-5 years that Hitler, who was a Jew too, a fake Jew too, supposedly burnt all these people up. Come on, man. But afterwards, they end up getting the state of Palestine, turning it into Israel.
And that's what they did, man. They used 7 years of World War II to say they the people in this Bible.
7 years.
7 years. And they fulfilled everything in this Bible in 7 years, according to them.
Come on, man. They not the real Jews ain't supposed to be back in Israel right now. Let's finish reading this right quick.
And the assailant involved in the prolonged firefight in Jersey City, New Jersey, that left 6 people dead, including 1 police officer, was linked on Wednesday to the Black Hebrew Israelite movement.
Was linked. How was he linked? Because if you pull one of us, you finna go to our social media, you gonna know we in a battle axe. You pull somebody from IUIC, you gonna know they in IUIC. ISUPK, you gonna know they in ISUPK.
Now, matter of fact, let's go read what General Yohana said, because General Yohana, they actually asked him some questions because they saying that ISUPK did. Okay, let's read this.
Bring it up.
This is at the U.S. Today. The Israelite member John Lightborn, who goes by Commanding General Yohana of the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, said the shooter action do not represent the views of Black Hebrew Israelites, that he was unfamiliar with the 2 suspects and were not informed of any violence or terrorism, said Yohana said. So General Yohana said, no, we're not. He's telling them, you saying that, because they tried to link him up to ISUPK, and General Yohana, which is over the ISUPK, said, no, we don't have no affiliation with these people, or we don't know who they are, and that we're not involved with them. Man.
And we saying the same thing here at the Battle Axe.
Maybe they mispronounced it. I think they meant Black Facebook-alites.
Because that's basically what it's going into. He posted. Well, we out in the streets, man.
Real.
We ain't hiding because we know what our mission is.
And not ashamed to be who we are.
Not ashamed nor confounded.
Exactly.
As a matter of fact, let me get a precept. Give me the book of Zechariah, chapter 4, verse 6. Because just like Ox, the captains is going into, they know, if you an Israelite, guess what? You keeping the commandments. It's a commandment for you not to kill. I mean, come on, that's one of the basic 10, Read this, and this also is a commandment.
Zechariah 4:6. Then he answered and spake unto me, saying, this is the word of the Lord unto Zerubbabel, saying, not by might.
Not by what?
Not by might.
So the Most High God was telling Zerubbabel in the Persian captivity. They was locked down, man. But he knew it wasn't a physical fight that you could do. It's nothing we can do here. We have no military might. We have no economic might, man. We're helpless without the Most High God. So this is not a physical fight. Read on up.
Nor by power.
Nor by power. Any type of military you can bring out there. Esau owned all the damn bullets, man. Like, what you gonna do when your gun run out of bullets? Like we say, Esau don't have to lift a finger. All they have to do is cut your water off. That's right. Our brothers don't know how to think war tactics, man. And this is something serious and heavy that need to be thought about in our nation. Read on up.
but by my spirit.
But by what?
My spirit.
The spirit of the Most High God. The words of this Bible is all we need to do is bring out. That's all that we need to bring out, man. When we read a couple of scriptures, boy, you see Esau get to crying out there, boy. We don't have to lift no finger, man. We don't have to do none of these things. So this is not a physical fight. We don't know.
Oh yeah.
Who art thou, oh great mountain?
Did you read the last part? Just
Salah,
said,
salah. But by spirit, but by my spirit,
by the words of the Bible. Read on out.
said the Lord of hosts.
Go ahead.
Matter of fact, what he was pulling that out of, let's go get that. Exodus chapter 14, verse 14. Same thing it's saying, man. Because we got the thing here, it said by the words of the Lord. Let's see what the word of the Lord say. Exodus chapter 14, verse 14.
Exodus chapter 14, verse 14.
Uh-huh.
The Lord shall fight for you.
No, we gonna fight.
The Lord shall fight for you.
No, the two people that shot them people up in New Jersey.
The Lord shall fight
No,
for
the
you.
Bible says the Lord gonna fight for us, man. We know that this is a spiritual battle that we dealing with, man. The Lord got to fight gonna fight the physical battle, man, in this present time, though. Read up.
And ye shall hold your peace.
No, we gonna go out there and go kill some people.
And ye shall hold your
No,
peace.
the Bible said we gonna hold our peace, man. The real people that's following the law, statutes, and commandments that know they're Israelites, they gonna hold their peace, man. We know that the Lord gonna fight for us, man. So we cannot
gotta know that this is the rise, Israel. That's right. Wake up, rise, same thing. We gotta understand that this is the first punch that they done hit us with of many. They say, oh yeah, this is a great time. Those two scriptures I just brought out with the Exodus 14 and 14 and Zechariah 4 and 6. It goes against our code and conduct of how we're supposed to handle ourselves. The Most High just told us that He go fight for us. So why are we linked to brothers out here? It's just all fake news, man. I want to read what a hate group is right quick. A hate group is a social group that advocates and practices hatred, hostility, or violence. That goes against our conduct. That goes against everything the Most High told us to do. Hostility or violence. We ain't out there hostile with nobody. We get our people, we tell our people what they need to do because we know the Most High is really, He's coming back. But we ain't violent with nobody.
Hold up. We spur not.
That's
Spur
right.
not and being hostile is two different things. Go ahead.
But that's what they want to put on us.
Yeah, we not out here. Our job is not out here to get them to fear us.
No.
Our job is out here to get them to fear our God. And that's what we out here to do. You better fear our God because that's what we are. We fear our God. It ain't got nothing to do with you. We ain't finna go out and kill you because we fear the consequences from our God for doing something He didn't tell us to do.
Now, like the brother just brought out the definition of a hate group. You know the white man is a damn liar. Because you're gonna put Israelites in a hate group and you ain't got one situation where an Israelite group did any violence to anybody. And that just show you how the devil work, man. Don't label us something. I don't even care what you label us. You done already label us niggas and coons and black and everything else. So what difference do it make? But it's just a fact that our people listen to this stuff, man. I don't want to be part of no hate. Well, be part of the wicked thing. And the Lord said, hate all evil.
It's so big, man, that this incident right here, I'm at work. We talking to a brother. I've been talking to a brother. He like, yeah, man, you know, I like everything y'all doing, man, but I can't stop smoking weed. I'm smoking weed till the day I die. Like, okay, brother, you think that. I said the same thing before too. He came to work after this. Hey, y'all my boys, y'all my dudes, y'all handle them laws up there. That's what they get in our mindset of our brothers. Now they say, oh yeah, I can be Hebrew Israelite. Y'all out there toting pistols, packing, shooting at the laws. That's the mindset they want to put in our minds now for these other brothers too. Oh yeah, I can be Israelite. Yeah, y'all out there handling all day long. This brother talked about that. I'm gonna leave y'all alone, bro. Y'all out there shooting people now, man.
See?
That's a trickle effect. That one punch.
That's propaganda.
That one punch, man, right there.
That's propaganda. But that brother wasn't ready in the first place.
Nah.
Because up in here, in all the Israelite camps, we understand that we got to control our spirit.
That's right, man.
We just can't go wilding out and doing ignorant stuff because that's not going to profit us at all. Now let's start getting to this class, man. The class is We Are the Real Jews. So let's go to the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary and let's get the definition of Jew. It comes page 283 now. Definition of Jew. Because these people perpetrating the fraud in the first place. And they doing it, you know why they doing it? For sympathy. If they say, we God's chosen people, look how they treating us. But we God's chosen people, look how they treating us. That's the killing part about it. They wanted sympathy from World War II. There's more people got killed than just them. They was all up in Africa killing people. They killing people in Japan. They killing people in Malaysia, in China, all over the world. But the only ones they concerned about and the only ones got a museum is the fake Jew. They the only one we were going through the real Holocaust. You got that out?
Out of the compact Bible dictionary. The definition of Jew. Originally, it denoted one belonging to the tribe of Judah.
To where?
To the tribe of Judah.
To the tribe of Judah. So that's where it started at. If you belong to the tribe of Judah. Read on.
Or to the two tribes of the southern kingdom.
Or to Benjamin and Judah. Read on.
But later, its meaning was extended, and it was applied to anyone of the Hebrew race who returned from the captivity, as most of the exiles came from Judah, and as they were the main historical representatives of ancient Israel.
So from where out?
The main historical representatives of ancient Israel.
We the main historical representatives of ancient Israel. Is Simone that?
The term Jew came finally to comprehend all of the Hebrew race throughout the world.
See, that's how they changed.
All of the what up?
All of the Hebrew race.
All of the Hebrew race. That's a nationality. That's your lineage. That's your house. That's your genealogy. These things go into a specific group of people, man. You cannot be a spiritual Israelite. No. You just can't make yourself a Jew. You have to be born a Jew. And that's the notion, a false notion that we have to stamp down every single time. Because we hear that, especially out there with Jehovah wickedness. You know, I'm a spiritual Israelite. Well, show me spiritual Israelite in the Bible. You know, you won't find these things. We are the blood descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
See, and another way that word came to being used is when the Romans had control of Judea. And they was just calling whoever came from Judea Jews. And we know that we had converts in Judea with us in Jerusalem. And these are those converts. That's why they saying that they Jews. So while we was in captivity, give me Daniel's 9 and 11. While we was in captivity, they hijacked the whole culture and said that they were us. Because how could we say it if we don't even know? If we was called Kunta, and they beat us to Toby, how we gonna know we Israelites after a couple generations? So during that time period, plus they're the one that financed the transatlantic slave trade to bring us over here to America. So in that time period, while we was going through that, they was saying that they were the Jews. But then they turn around, they accept the Ethiopians as Jews. They accept them as Jews, who not really Jews, but they don't want to accept us. Matter of fact, you ain't got to accept us, because we taking our stuff back, just like we taking the kingdom back. Let's see if this happened to those Jews. Read this out.
The book of Daniel, chapter 9, verse 11. Yea, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice.
They never kept a law. They go by the Tammuz and the Kabbalah. They don't keep these guys' laws. They don't do the Torah. That's why Tel Aviv is the gay capital of the world right now. Yep. Because they doing and they eat kosher pork. How is you eating kosher pork and it's okay? Smoking cigarettes, kosher cigarettes. This is stuff that they doing. They just put kosher on it. Oh, that's clean. Because they don't believe in keeping God's laws. Because they not God's people. Read on up.
Therefore, the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of God, because we have sinned against him. And he hath confirmed his words, which he spake against us, and against our judges that judged us.
He confirmed his word, because in Deuteronomy 28:15, he told us that if we did not keep his law, statutes, and commandments, that these curses are going to be upon us. Read on up.
By bringing upon us a great evil.
What did the Lord bring upon us?
Bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven has not been done as has been done upon Jerusalem.
Now show me one of the fake Jews that y'all have been through that's worse than us going in the transatlantic slave trade or the sub-Saharan slave trade or the Egyptian captivity, the Assyrian captivity, the Babylonian captivity, the Persian captivity, the Greek captivity, and the Roman captivity, and American captivity. Because our list go on and on and on. Not just no one Holocaust.
And you can tell, look, I'm gonna show you just even little small details of everything that we go through. You can look just like I'm looking at the comment board. I always like the comment board on YouTube. Man, the scoffing is extra heavy on YouTube right now. Because they don't want this thing to go out like this, man. They want to do anything. Man, we got our own coon people, man, that'll step across the line just to keep their pockets going. Just to downgrade the nation, our nation of people, man.
They own nation.
And you know what? Guess what, man? The Most High gonna deal with them, man. See, the thing is, that's even us. We ain't trying to sit and even downplay it. Guess what? They Israel too. They get a chance to repent too. But if they don't, guess what? The Lord gonna deal with them too, man. The Lord gonna deal with them too. All the people that's not thinking that we Israelites, and all the people that know that we Israelites, and they don't repent. Guess what? They won't make it, man. They mad that. Guess what, man? When we walk in the house, guess what they're gonna have to do? Lick the dust off our boots. Right. They hate that, man. They hate that that's in the Bible. If they didn't like that, guess what? They should have took it out when they had the opportunity. Now y'all let us read it. Now you got to deal with it.
This for you scoffers. This for you scoffers. That's other Israelite nation, but don't say you Israel. The book of Proverbs, chapter 17, verse 15. He that justifies the wicked and he that condemneth the just, even they both are abomination to the Lord. So you keep being an abomination. And you keep taking the white man's side if you want to, after the atrocities he did to our people, and you still want to be riding with him. Come on, man. Let's go to Revelations 2 and 9. Because our people is ignorant of the fact of who they really are, and letting somebody else take their identity. They sit there, oh, those are Jews. So what are you? Oh, I'm an African American. That's a disgrace, man. But you want to come against us? Oh, I'm a Gentile, because we know who we are. We trying to tell you, like the Lord commanded us to.
Guess what? That was a right name for our people, man. Gentile, gentle. We gentle nation of people. Straight gentle, man.
We hard with each other.
That's what.
Read that out.
Revelation chapter 2, verse 9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty.
The Lord said he know our works and he know our tribulations, the things that we go through, and our poverty. Is the fake Jews in poverty? Nope. Read on up.
But thou art rich.
But thou art rich in parentheses. Now we know why we rich. We got the kingdom of heaven at hand. We do what the Most High told us to do. But he still know our poverty here on earth. Read on.
And I know the blasphemy.
You know the what?
The blasphemy.
The lies
of them which say they are Jews.
Of who?
Of them which say they are Jews.
A vast majority of our people don't even know that they are Jews. So they not even saying that they Jews. But the people with those black coats and those black hats and looking all weird with the little curly cute hair on the side, he said he know the blasphemy, the lies of them, which say they are Jews, and what else are?
And are not.
What did Christ say?
And are not.
Christ said, and are not. Because he was dealing with y'all back in the day. Same way we got to deal with y'all today. He said, y'all are not the Jews. But what did he call them out?
But are the synagogue of Satan.
But are the synagogue. Who pray in the synagogues? Because we don't. Christ calling them out. But are the synagogue of Satan. Because when you go into their real teachings, they worship Satan, man. Go into look at the Kabbalism, the Talmuds. That's a blasphemous book, man.
And they had to make that book so they can make themselves relevant in their own book.
Exactly.
Because our Bible gives them no relevance. Do anybody know why they wear all black? Any brothers know? Why do they wear all black?
We're gonna read this.
Give me the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14. You got it. Oh, go ahead.
Let me finish verse 10 right quick. Read verse 10. Huh?
Revelations 2 and 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer.
The Lord told us to fear none of these things that we're gonna go through here in this captivity. What do they have to fear? They manufacture fear. This one incident occurred, and they said, "Oh, we scared. We fear for our life, and people don't believe us." Fear for what? Y'all own the police, but we in fear every day. Read on up.
Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison.
Hold up. What prisons are they getting into? They own the prisons. But who got the highest rate of being locked up in a penitentiary in the world? Come on, man. Christ calling them out. Read on up.
That ye may be tried.
That we may be what?
That ye may be tried.
This is for us to be tried because we are hard-headed, stiff-necked people. We got to go through the fire to get back in the good graces of the Most High God. This is trials and tribulations that we have to do because we was disobedient to him. They ain't being tried in nothing. They own the world. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. And we know who the wicked are. Read on up.
And ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death.
What did the Lord say?
Be thou faithful unto death. And I will give thee a crown of life.
This is meant to test us. Who's going to be faithful to the Lord until they death, even though they're going through trials and tribulations? It ain't supposed to be peaches and cream and roses. We messed up. We have to get back right with him. This is our punishment. What punishment are those people going through? They are bastards to the Most High God. The Lord chastises who he loved like a son. They ain't getting no chastisement. He said, you are a bastard. Go ahead, out.
Just like I was going into, like I say, the reason 14 verse 2. Because even wearing the scripture, do it tell you to wear the little stupid yarmulke hat on your head, or do the little Shirley Temple things on their sideburns, man. What did they say that in the scripture?
Or the big raccoon hat.
Oh, they wear it because they trying to replicate the scriptures.
Yep, that's why they wear all black to the ground. Read that out.
Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground.
So that's where you get them wearing all black unto the ground. But you'll never see them with no fringes on, border of blue. You may have 2 zeeks on, but it say around the borders of thy garments, man. You know, so they not doing nothing that this Bible say. So that's why they do these things. They try to take little bits and pieces. They know how people are ignorant of some of these things, man.
Right.
And like the brother was talking about the Talmud and the Kabbalah, those was actually written by, those are ancient manuscripts that was written by the Pharisees and the Sadducees, wicked people, and then with converts that was writing these against. That's why they was going against the Messiah. They had their own scriptures and manuscripts that they was writing. That's what they were using the scribes for at that time. So what they got now is the Kabbalah, which is the same things that they were going, when you read in the New Testament, they was going against Yahushua, and they had their own different laws that Yahushua came back and was rebuking them on. They was writing their own manuscripts that they had also. And that's where you come up with the Kabbalah and the Talmud. And that's what they go by today.
All right. Read that Jeremiah again, huh?
Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourneth.
Judah mourning. Judah mourning. Who's in mourning? They still harping on the Holocaust. We have so many killings happen to us. We'll be on the one mourning that, and then they turn around the next day, it's another. Before we can mourn for Trayvon, here go another one. Before we can mourn for Sandra Bland, here go another one. And not only that, they put their hands on our sisters. They put their hands on our children. Before we can finish mourning the last incident, Judah is in mourning, man. And the gates thereof language, we don't have no gates. The gates is the leadership. If you ask any so-called black person, who is the black people leader?
Michael Jordan.
LeBron James. I don't know. He's 21 Sabbath.
Kanye West.
Kanye West.
Yeah, Kanye West.
Because the gates thereof languish. A gate protects the city. You know that big gate they have, they close that thing, it protects the city. That's supposed to be our leadership. We have no leadership in the African American community. We're gonna be the leaders here in the Israelite community.
And see, because the thing is, you look at how the society is set up. It's set up for the so-called white man to run our household. That's why they use their school system to teach our children. They use the police to protect our homes. Guess what? They use their business for us to go shop and buy our foods and stuff from. We got to go to them for everything, man. And that's why we don't have a leader. That's why we don't have gates, man. We have nobody. Therefore, guess what? They put the woman against the man. The man turn effeminate and the women turn tough. But the men out of order with God, we can't step into our role. And guess what? The woman can't respect a black man or so-called Israelite man as being the head of the house. But the same woman, she gonna have to look at that same another black man as being the leader of all Israel, which is the Mashiach Yahushua. If they can't respect the black man right here on earth, then how you gonna respect the black man that's gonna be cracking that sky?
That's right. We
got to learn respect. That's the thing. And us as men, we don't know respect for our God. Because guess what? We want to sag our pants. We want to talk all crazy to our women. We want to act all like a fool. But guess what? If we apply this Bible, we know what we are and we know what we must do.
That's right.
That's why we in mourning, man. That's why we got the gates and the leaders that we got. That's why it's like this, man.
Let's go to Revelation. Did you finish it up?
Yeah, well, now you want me to read?
Just read it too.
Jeremiah 14:2. Judah mourning, and the gates thereof language. They are black unto the ground.
They are black into the ground.
And the cry of Jerusalem is gone up.
We are different shades of brown. That's what color the ground is. And the cry of Jerusalem is going up. We putting it up right now. Lord, they trying to do something to us. We praying to our God. That's why we coming back to you, Lord. Let's go to Revelation 3 and 9. Revelation chapter 3, verse 9. Let's see what else Christ said about these devils, man. This ain't our words, this Christ's words. See, this is why they ain't like Christ. This is why they know Christ existed, but they don't, them fake Jews over there, they don't claim Christ. What they call them, Orthodox Jews, Zionists, and all this different garbage.
Judaism.
Y'all Mount Seir, Edom, the devil that the Bible speaks of. Read that out.
Revelation 3:9.
And matter of fact, we say that they the devil that the Bible speaks of, but that's what Christ called them. Read out.
Revelation 3:9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan.
He gonna make them what?
Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan.
The Lord saying they of the synagogue of Satan. They want to get mad at us when we say it. That's what Christ said. But it's true. Read on.
Which say they are Jews and are not.
They saying they Jews, but they are not. Because when we go to the historical references, when we go to the Bible to prove who the real Jews are, who the real Israelites are, and that's another thing. They don't even claim to be Israelites because Israelite trumps being called a Jew. We from the tribe of Judah. Ask them what tribe they come from. I'm from Levi. I'm from Benjamin. Prove it. They can't prove it. They just talking.
No, this is what they say. We over there in the land is yield the fruit for us. But we know what y'all did to get that fruit to happen too. You had to go get soil from another country to mix that dirt because you know that the land wasn't gonna yield no fruit from you, man. And it took y'all some years to get that land to do it because y'all had to mix and mix and mix. And then now y'all got a topsoil from another land to make y'all fruit grow. Man, y'all can't get away with nothing, man. You think, man, that's why Hebrew is like we search out everything, man.
That's right.
How do we know we Israelites? When brothers and sisters ask y'all, how do you know Ben and I? Yeah, that's a good point. Who else? What you got, Junior? Well, not just Deuteronomy 28 and 68, all the curses. All the curses in the Bible, Deuteronomy chapter 15 through 68, that identifies how we know we Israelites. So you don't have to go and get one of Esau's DNA tests. Hey, the DNA test is in Deuteronomy chapter 28.
That's right.
The Bible says whoever is going through those curses, that's who my chosen people are. That's how we identify who we are. Go ahead, Al.
Let's read that from the top, Revelation 3.
Revelation chapter 3, verse 9. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews, and are not.
Or what?
But do lie.
What they do,
But do lie.
what they doing right now?
But do lie.
They are liars. Read on.
Behold, I will make them to come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee.
That's what the Lord said he gonna make them do to us. He gonna make them come worship before our feet. That's why they bucking so hard, man. They know what these scriptures say. They gonna fight against them as long as they can until the Lord crack that sky and come back and put them in subjection. So I'm gonna pull something out of this book called The 13th Tribe. This was written by a fake Jew. They gonna give historical reference about these people, showing who they really are. See, they know you hire something from a nigga, put it in the book. Well, we ain't no niggas.
That's right.
We ain't niggas. Oh, hallelujah. So that don't apply to us no more. Let's read that out.
Even to give a little bit more, man, this book is heavy, man. And they winded up getting assassinated too. They said it was suicide. But just like I was bringing out, he thought they were the chosen people of God. So he wanted to go and do some background check. Guess what? He found out some stuff he really didn't want to find out now.
For real.
You know, and guess what? He was put to death for that thing too, because they didn't want this book to be out there in the public. Even now, they trying to still discredit this book. But just like I said, we ain't niggas no more. So we understand what he's bringing out.
And check this out. Before we even read the book, I got some more evidence. This is from the times of Israel. They put it, they said, leaked report. Israel acknowledges Jews, in fact, Khazars, secret plan for reverse migration to Ukraine.
That's right.
This is in their stuff. This ain't our stuff, this they stuff. So we just gonna see what they got to say about it. Says our own people want to argue with us about Esau and who Esau is and things like that. We can go from what they say. Just like we say we the Israelites, let's see who they say they are. Let's read it out.
Arthur Koestler, the 13 tribes. A few years later, probably AD 740, the king, his court, and the military. Man, let me see that. Let me see it. In military,
That's military.
is that M cut off? Salah. A few years later, probably AD 740, the king, his court, and the military ruling class embraced the Jewish faith, and Judaism became the state religion of the Khazars.
They embraced the Jewish faith. And then Judaism. We don't do no Judaism. We keep God's laws, statutes, and commandments. This is a culture for us. They turned it into a religion. And let's see why they turned it into a religion.
What page is that up?
Page 15.
Somebody.
No doubt their contemporaries were as astonished by this decision as modern scholars were when they came across the evidence in the Arab, Byzantine, Russian, and Hebrew sources.
They found in the Arab sources, Byzantine sources, Russian sources, and Hebrew sources about these people on what they did. Because everybody was shocked that they, just like when Hitler was talking about the fake Jews is doing a swastika religion. That's a swastika means black. And everybody else was astonished because we getting persecuted for what we doing. The whole world, like Psalms 83 say, everybody against us. They tripping out. These people, y'all gonna do what they doing. Read on up.
One of the most recent comments is to be found in a work by the Hungarian Marxist historian, Dr. Antal Bartha. His book on the Magyar society in the 8th and 9th centuries have several chapters on the Khazars, as during most of that period, the Hungarians were ruled by them. Yet their conversation to Judaism and conversion is discussed in a single paragraph with obvious embarrassment.
Obvious embarrassment, read on.
It reads, our investigations cannot go into problems pertaining to the history of ideas, but we must call the reader's attention to the matter of the Khazar's kingdom state religion. It was the Jewish faith which became the official religion of the ruling Sparta.
It was the Jewish faith, the Israelite faith,
Right.
that became their religion. So they basically hijacked, like the Muslims did. They hijacked stuff from our culture and then made a religion out of it. Just like the Christians did. They hijacked stuff from our culture and they made a religion off of it. That's all they try to do because they have nothing of their own. Read up.
Of society. Needless to say, the acceptance of the Jewish faith as the state religion of ethnically non-Jewish people.
Ethnically, race-wise, non-Jewish people, non-Jews. So non-Jews took on our heritage. Read on.
Ethnically, non-Jewish people could be the subject of interesting speculations. We shall, however, confine ourselves to the remark that this official conversion, in defiance of Christian proselytizing by Byzantium, the Muslim influence from the East, and in spite of the political pressure of these two powers.
They came into the Jewish faith to avoid becoming Christians or Muslims. So they're gonna split the difference. We don't want to be Muslims. We don't want to be Christians. Oh, we see them black people over there doing this. We finna do that too. They said this is our state religion. Everybody like, what? Read on up.
To a religion which had no support from any political power.
No support because everybody's against us. Just like we have no support now. Because we worship the one true God and they don't. We keep God's laws and they don't. They don't want to keep it. So that's why they got a problem with us. Read on.
But was persecuted by nearly all, has come as a surprise to all historians.
Read that again up.
But was persecuted by nearly all, has come as a surprise to all historians.
Oh, right there. Can you give me a second there? Just chapter 16 and verse 68. It said we was persecuted by all. So why would you want to take on a culture that the people of that culture is getting persecuted by all? Because they that conniving, man. So let's get a precept on that. You got that up?
2 Esdras 16 and 68. For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idle, with things offered unto idols.
We got a wrath of a great multitude against us. And we always had a wrath of a great multitude against us. That's why I said we was persecuted by all. It ain't say we were persecuted by some. We was persecuted by Ham. We was persecuted by Japheth, by Esau, by Moab, by Ammon, by Elam. Because they know what's up. All right, finish that up.
But was persecuted by nearly all, has come as a surprise to all historians concerned with the Khazar, and cannot be considered as accidental.
It's not accidental. It's scriptural. Ain't nothing about what's going on accidental. Everything is prophesied. That's how we know what we doing is right. It was prophesied. Read on.
But must be regarded as a sign of the independent policies pursued by that kingdom, which leaves us only slightly more bewildered than before. Yet, whereas the source differ in minor detail, the major facts are beyond dispute. What is in dispute is the fate of the Jewish Khazars after the destruction of their empire in the 12th or 13th century. On this problem, the sources are scant, but various late medieval Khazar settlements are mentioned in the Crimea.
And where?
In the Crimea.
And what they over there fighting about between Russia and Ukraine? Crimea. Because like they said over here, they plan to go back to Ukraine. They gonna do a reverse. So all that stuff over there ain't accidental. What's going on right now? Read on up.
In the Ukraine, in Hungary, Poland, and Lithuania.
That's Eastern Europe. That's where they came from.
Right.
When Hitler was supposed to be going, getting them, that's where they was at. Read on.
The general picture that emerges from these fragmentary pieces of information.
Fragmentary pieces. So we got all the history about everything else when they want it out there. We know everything about Rome. We know everything about Greece. But we know little about the so-called African Americans and the fake Jews. Fragmented pieces. But we know enough because the Bible told us everything we need to know. Rita, you got some on that?
Is that of a migration of Khazar tribes and communities into those regions of Eastern Europe, mainly Russia and Poland, where at the dawn of the modern age, the greatest concentrations of Jews were found. This has led several historians to conjecture that a substantial part, and perhaps the majority of Eastern Jews, and hence of world Jewry, might be of Khazar and not of Semitic origin.
Read that again.
Exactly.
This has led several historians to conjecture that the substantial part and perhaps the majority of Eastern Jews and hence of world Jewry might be of Khazar and not of Semitic origin.
Hey, they know that they ain't the real Jews. They own people know this through historical facts. Like I say, even that history that Maccabees always bring out, that's why they had to perpetuate World War II to get them over there to solidify them as being like we said. They had a mandate to put them people over there in Israel. Yep. That's how they got there. The Most High God said He was going to set us back in our homeland. We wasn't going to go there ourselves. So even Arthur Koestler knew when he started going through the history, he knew these people ain't the real Jews. These people got put over there. And when was the
1948, the British mandate, they was sent over there. That was a setup from the beginning. They had planned this a long time before the 1900s at the time. Before the right before the entering of the 1900s. Because if you go to the New York Times in 1915, 1920, and around the early 1900s, they had articles about 6 million Jews. First, they had it was a propaganda setup. They were using the term 6 million Jews. Well, they were over here and they got 6 million of it in slavery. They were just putting it out there to get everybody on that page. Then in 1915, they did the same thing again with another article until the World War at that time. But if that's what they call in their persecution, we might as well go and give it up to the Japanese. The United States killed more of them than they did than Hitler killed the Jews. They went and blew up cities.
They've been had this thing in effect since the 1785. They had a League of Nations mandate for Palestine. Then in 1919, they had another British mandate for the fake Jews to go back to Israel. Way before World War II.
Right. I'm going to read it right quick. The League of Nations was turned into the UN. That's right. Because they knew that name didn't sound right. So they tried to make it a little bit more acceptable.
United.
Yeah. Not like the white man was just ruling everything, which we know is the case. But even in the book, the Arthur Koestler chapter, I'm going to go over to page 17. It says, this was written before the full extent of the Holocaust was known. So just like Akhenaten was bringing out, they was already planning this. We got to understand that Esau thinks generations ahead of time, man, to kind of rock our people to sleep. It says, but that does not alter the fact that the large majority of surviving Jews in the world is of Eastern European, which is a lie. See, when you understand the truth, you understand the lies that they put in the books too. It says, and thus perhaps mainly of Khazar origin. If so, this would mean that their ancestors came not from the Jordan, but from the Volga. So they knew that they didn't come from Israel. They came from the Volga, which is over there by the Caucasus Mountains of Georgia, Russia. They knew these things. It says, not from Canaan, but from the Caucasus, once believed to be the cradle of the Aryan race. Even when you look up the word Aryan race, it means the angelic sons of Isaac. So Esau plays on our stupidity, on our ignorance. That's why we tell brothers and sisters, get into these books and read, man. it says, and that genetically they were more closely related to the Hun, to the Ugar, and to the Manyar tribes than to the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Should this turn out to be the case, then the term anti-Semitism will become void of meaning. That's why they imply it so hard, man. When you hear anti-Semitic, oh, don't, you're going against the Jews, don't do that. But they know our people don't fully understand what that means. It says, would become void of meaning based on a misapprehension shared by both the killers and their victims. The story of the Khazar Empire, as it slowly emerges from the past, begins to look like the most cruel hoax which history has ever perpetrated.
Read that again,
The story of the Khazar Empire, as it slowly emerges from past, begins to look like the most cruel hoax which history has ever perpetrated.
Because these people pretending to be God's people, when in reality, the people who really God's people is asleep and lost.
Matter of fact, let me get a precept on it. Let me go to Micah chapter 2 and verse 1. Because the scripture is even saying it too, man. It verbatimly just gonna say the same thing, because that's exactly what they done to us, man. Micah chapter 2 and verse 1.
Hey, what's the heat on? I mean, 70.
73.
Had on what? Yeah, that must burn it up.
2-1.
So like we said, this is a hoax that they have been planning for years, man.
Watch this. Read this.
Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it.
Because guess what? When they at the house sleep, they just like you know our job. You think that when you doing something to them or you doing something at their job, and guess what? They devise evil upon their bed. But when the morning come, they gonna actually do the evil that they just got finished trying to plotting to do. Read on,
Because when the morning comes, they practice it because it is the power of their hands.
Because it's the power of their hands. Y'all know, man, Esau got the control of the world, so-called white men. Read on.
And they covet fields.
They take fields, read on.
And take them by violence.
That's because they whatever they want, they go get it by violence, man. Read.
And houses.
Man, houses, read on.
And take them away.
And they take everything that we got. They go into our houses. Guess what? We got a search warrant. We're gonna come up here and take everything, man. Because this piece of paper said I can go do it. Now I go take anything in your house or anything that I feel is unlawful, I'm gonna take it. Read on,
So they oppress a man and his house. Even a man and his heritage.
Even a man and his heritage. That's how they oppress it. They take it away. They take it our heritage and everything away. Everything that we got, they take it all this away. The scriptures, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So the scriptures just basically going into showing, guess what? They even they covered our houses, they covered our fields, and they covered our heritage. And they take it all away from us, man. Go ahead,
So now we know why this book is called the 13 Tribes. Because if Esau had been a part of the Israelites, God would have made a 13 tribe.
It made a 13 gate too.
Exactly.
And that's what they claim also too. They claim to be the 13th tribe, unknown tribe. That's why when you look on your dollar, the Illuminati symbol is that 13. That's what they use, that 13. It's all the same thing. It's all symbolism. It's all propaganda. It's a conspiracy that they got against us. And they let you know when you go look at your dollar. 13 arrows, 13 stripes on your flag, 13 steps on the pyramid. It's all a symbolism. They've been doing this. This is nothing new. And I did make a mistake. I said 1900s. I just looked it up. The 6 million Jews propaganda started in 1823 to 1936. And I was off about 80 years.
Started early. Let's get Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse 4. Because the scriptures show you how you know who the real Jews are. The real Jews don't know who they are right now. You know, that's why the Lord got to wake us up. If these people already know that they're the Jews, then what waking up do they got to go through? If that's the case, Christ should have been and came back already. They ain't even supposed to be in that land. The real Jews ain't supposed to be there. Read that up.
Jeremiah 17:4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thy inheritance that I gave you.
The real Israelites are supposed to be discontinued from their heritage that God gave us. Not over there in Israel kicking it right now. Read on.
And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
We did that. I don't see no history on them doing that because I'm pretty sure the way they pushed the Holocaust, we would know if they went into slavery because they wouldn't let you forget. Read on.
For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever.
For how long now?
Forever.
Ever. So that fire still be burning on the Most High on them people right now if they was a real Jew. But it's burning on us because we are under subjection to another people, another race of people. Let's go to 1 Kings chapter 8 and verse 47.
Yeah.
Because one thing they keep saying is the Black Hebrew Israelite movement. This is not a movement. This is an awakening. He's waking us up out of the deep sleep that we've been in.
Let me make a correction also. This Arthur Carson, that was the guy you was talking about, was the one that wrote the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. Arthur Carson was murdered, him and his wife, after this book came out. What he had stated earlier was the guy that did the Zondervan was claimed to have committed suicide after he found out.
No, it was Arthur Carson. They made it as a suicide.
I know his wife was murdered too.
Yeah.
At the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it was a double suicide.
Yeah.
I don't know. Juliet type of thing. But yeah, they that right after this book came out, both of them was found dead.
And you know what? The crazy part about it, they always cover their tracks up. Just like even when they kill us, oh man, or somebody going to a church to do a mass shooting. Oh, that brother, he's sick. So-called white man, he's sick when he do it.
Yeah. and that's another thing. Glad you brought that up. They want to name this brother terrorist. White men commit mass murder every year. Every year. They got another white man, several white men a year. A lot of them they don't even want to talk about.
Yeah,
they go shoot up 20, 30 people.
The men don't even do it no more. It's the children doing it. They're going into schools, kids to unload now.
Do they bring up that Esau that shot up Las Vegas? I mean, he shot a lot of people up. They don't want to talk about that. But brother go up in a grocery store, he a terrorist. Come on, man. The white man commit more terrorists than the people that they call the terrorists, than the Muslims. Let's get that out. Let's go to the book of Acts, chapter 2 and verse 16. Mm-hmm.
Book of Acts chapter 2, verse 16.
This is the awakening that the Most High had prophesied that was going to happen for us. And it's occurring right now as we speak. Because all of us was in a deep sleep. All of us thought we was African Americans and Negroes and whatever else, niggas. Some sisters even call themselves divas. They divas and queens and I'm a what B? B what? B this, B that. Come on, man.
They bees in nature.
Bees in nature.
Certified proud.
And let's see what the Lord said. Read up.
Acts 2 and 16.
Mm-hmm.
But this is that which was spoken by the prophet Joel.
Oh, this was spoken by the prophet Joel in the Old Testament. We're going to get that precept too, so y'all can precept this up. It was already prophesied. So the brother just repeating what brother Joel had already said. Read on.
And it shall come to pass in the last days.
In the what?
And it shall come to pass in the last days.
See, it's specific about the time period at which this is going to happen. That's how we know that we're living through it right now. It has never been in a time in history where all these countries had nuclear weapons and aircraft carriers and F-18 Super Hornets and tanks and things of this nature. It's gearing up for the end times, for the Yahushua to come. They're going to try to fight it. So we know we're living in the last days. Read on.
And it shall come to pass in the last days, said God, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh.
He said he's going to pour out his spirit upon all flesh. Brother Steve, What's the spirit?
Commandments. Commandments.
Yeah,
precept you got?
What precept you got? All right, Brother King.
I don't know the precept, but it would be his law, statutes, and commandments.
All right, Brother Abaya.
6 and John 6 and 63.
That's right. So he said he gonna pour out his spirit upon all flesh. He gonna pour out his word. He gonna pour out his law, statutes, commandments upon all flesh. Is that not what's happening right now? Read on, huh?
And it shall come to pass in the last days, said God, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams.
Is that not what's happening right now? We prophesying in the name of the Most High God, in the name of His Son. That's why brothers is raising up, sisters is raising up. That's why we on these street corners crying aloud, sparing not, because it was prophesied that we would do that thing, man. Let's get that precept out of the book of Joel, chapter 2 and 27. Y'all mark that in your Bibles. Book of Joel, chapter 2, verse 27.
Joel chapter 2, verse 27. And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel.
In the midst of who?
And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel. And that I am the Lord your God, and none else. And my people shall never be ashamed.
See, this is why they mad at, because the one true living God is our God and none else. That's why we're not ashamed, because we know it to be true. We know personally to be true, and we know on a nationwide level it to be true. When we seeing our people rising up, read on.
And it shall come to pass after that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions. And also upon the servants and upon the handmaids, in those days will I pour out my spirit.
So the Lord prophesied that He was going to pour out His spirit upon us. Because before 1969, this wasn't coming out like this. Yeah, it was people who knew they was Israelites, but until the One West started hitting them streets like that and really started prophesying, then it started spreading like it needed to. So what, that 50 years ago? We in the last day. Because He said that this when it was going to happen. We couldn't do this, what, in 1920? And go on the street corner and tell the white man he the devil that the Bible speaks of?
But even though, if you look up the history in 1919 and 1918 through 1920, they opened up an Israelite school. Actually, Israelite school here in America, but it did not last long because the revolt, and it wasn't time. The Most High didn't let that go forth at the time. But now here, like I saying, in the last days, the Most High letting this manifest and grow as the mustard seed. So, but it did. That's why when you look at the Rosewoods and the Black Wall Streets at that time in the 1920s, that all of them rose up because guess what? They were seeing that we actually could try to make it without them. That's why they went into the Great Depression and we started evolving as a nation. But then they had to shut that down because they wanted us to lean on them because they knew if they can put us back into sin, we could control them over again. Go ahead.
Right. You notice the church always used that one part. They always use the Acts 2 and 16, but they never precepted go to Joel 2 and 27 because of that verse. Because if you read that one verse 27 in any church, it would stop the whole Christianity church movement right now. Because everybody in there would have to question the God of what? The God of Israel and none else. They were like, well, that would imagine Sunday morning and everybody in the Sunday church read, every pastor read that one part. They would have to stop for discussion because they use that other scripture when they're talking about amongst all flesh. Oh, that's us. No, your spirit, yeah, you're going to get prophesied against. Everybody going to get this. Our people going to get this truth. And our enemies gonna get this truth, but you don't know the truth, so it's gonna spread amongst all flesh. Right.
Let's get that 1 Kings chapter 8 verse 47. Because the Lord already knew what was gonna happen, man. That's why he doing it the way he doing it. We have to wake up. We have to wake up first. So he had to send somebody to wake us up. You know what I'm saying? So he sent the prophets out to wake us up. And that's what we're doing the work of, because as a nation, for him to seal that elect, somebody got in these vessels has to come down and do this work. And that's what they don't like. They don't like the way we do the work. They don't like the fact that we're doing the work. Oh, y'all mean, y'all talking too rough. Well, if that's the worst we are, then you should be thankful, because when your house shot come back, he gonna be making his wrong. We ain't hanging nobody. We ain't lynching nobody. We ain't dragging nobody with a truck. We ain't burning crosses in front of nobody's house. We ain't even wearing hoods on our face, like some cowards that we know. The real hate group. They so hateful and so cowardly, they gotta wear hoods on their face.
And the reason why they do that, because they wear the hoods on their face, and at the end of the day, they take their hoods off, and them same people gonna go patrol your neighborhood.
The doctor, the teachers.
Yeah,
The
they wanna come on here scoffing. Tell us where we lying at. Oh, the truth hurt, huh? That's all it is, a slap in the face. For you coons and for you heathens, they're coming against us. We ain't touched none of y'all. You ain't got nothing on us. So you gonna manufacture something. But we got something on you, and the Lord got it all marked down in his records. Best believe that. No matter how you want to sweep it under the rug, no matter how you want to act like it didn't happen, the reason why they're getting mad at us, because we telling the truth.
That's right.
And it's hard for liars, for deceivers to accept that truth, because all they do is lie to you. All they do is push fake news. All they do is push propaganda. And it's mighty strange that their leader is the biggest liar of them all. Got the nerves to call their own media fake news. Well, we're going to use his term. You're pushing fake news.
Because it's mighty ironic that they went into a Jewish store and ramshacked a Jewish store. Those fake Jews. Oh yeah, they say the real Jew. So they go into a Jewish store and ramshack this thing. That's where they gonna have to shoot at it.
Yeah.
Fake news, man.
And then turn around and say, this is a hate crime. What? What's happening to us every day is a hate crime.
Right.
How about we go to the UN and go tell on America about their hate crimes? They so quick to talk about somebody else's hate crimes. Oh, we can't do that though. We ain't got nobody to cry to. You so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans better wake up, man. Because all we got is the Most High. All we got is Yahweh Shah. And all we got is each other, man. Y'all want to go leaning on the white man for everything, and he the one putting his foot on your neck, killing us.
That's right.
And they want to come against us and label us something. We ain't no damn black Hebrew Israelites. We are the Hebrew Israelites. We are the real Jews that the Bible speaks of, man.
That's right.
It ain't a dang thing y'all can do about it, because the Most High ordained this. And this will be showing through these scriptures. He picked the weak and the despised of this world, to confound the mighty of this world, man. They confounded right now because they don't really know what's going on. So, we got to put something on them. We got to link them to something. Link them. If he was really a true Hebrew Israelite that was in a camp or organization, you will be able to say he was from here. But they can't do that. That's how you know they're liars, man. Because the real Hebrew Israelites all across America, all across the world, gonna do videos just like this. And they're gonna tell you the same thing that we tell them. We know where our warfare stand at, and it's spiritual, man. Read that out.
1 Kings chapter 8, verse 47.
Mm-hmm.
Yet if they shall bethink themselves in the land, whither they were carried captive, and repent.
And do what?
And repent.
Hold up. When was those fake Jews carried away captive? When did they forget who they are? No, they just changed who they are. Like we just read out from their own people. They changed who they were and took on another identity. But they never been in the captivity in a land of their enemies. We have done that several times over. The Lord told us to repent for that.
And they was never given the law, so how they gonna repent anyway?
Matter of fact, let's get that. Second address, what's that?
3 and
36, 31.
Oh, yeah, 36. We get to the parts. Look.
With the second address, chapter 3,
Read 36, right?
verse 36. Thou shalt find that Israel by name hath kept thy precepts, but not the heathen.
But what up?
But not the heathen.
But not the heathens. The heathens ain't gonna keep these laws, statutes, and commandments, man. They don't have it in them to do so. Because no matter how much they say, oh, I don't hate black people. I'm a Christian. And, oh, I'll keep God's laws. I'll be obedient. What about black Christ? Oh, you know, well, he olive color. Well, I know he come from the Middle East. I know he not white. He olive color. It says right here what he is, man. It say he a Jew. He from the tribe of Judah. And it tell you the description of the real Jew. And it tell you what the Jews went through. And it tell you what other Jews look like King Solomon and King David, man. They will not bow down to this truth. They're going to find an excuse, just like these coons will find an excuse. If they agree with 75% of it, they don't find a problem with 25% of it. A real Israelite ain't going to find no problem with none of it because it's our stuff. It's our history. It's our heritage. We know we hard-headed, stiff-necked. We know we've been breaking God's law. That's how we know it's us. Go back to Kings. That's why he told us to repent. Because we know what we did. Read up.
1 Kings 8:47.
Mm-hmm.
Yet if they shall bethink themselves in the land whither they were carried captive, and repent.
And do what?
And repent.
That's a major thing that the nation of Israel has to do. We have to repent as a nation, man. That's what all this is for. We need to ask for forgiveness as a nation. Not a Facebook Israelite doing their own thing. Not an independent Israelite doing their own thing. This is a nation thing. Read.
And make supplication unto thee in the land of them that carried them captive.
And make prayer unto thee in the land of them that carried us away captive. Are we not that? It's another people in our land pretending to be us. They ain't in the land of where they was carried captive. They migrated to where they went to, according to their own people. We got carried away captive, kidnapped. Read on.
Saying, we have sinned.
We did what up?
We have sinned.
We have sinned, Lord.
And have done perverse. We have committed wickedness.
We have done what?
We have committed wickedness.
The same thing that we're doing right now as a people, man. Homosexuality, drugs, killing each other, murder, breaking the God's laws, Sabbaths, women in pants, brothers without beards on their face. All of them. That's why they get mad at us. We breaking so many sins. When we calling it out, they feel like they under attack. Well, just how many laws of God you breaking? So how you think the Most High feel? You got a bunch of walking abominations around here, man. He done had to repent for wanting to take us out already. How you think he feel right now? 2 times. So how you think he feel right now? Read on up.
And so return unto thee with all their heart and with all their soul in the land of their enemies, which led them away captive, and pray unto thee toward their land, which thou gavest unto their fathers, the city which thou hast chosen, and the house which I have built for thy name.
This is instructions for the real Israelites. This ain't instructions for fake Khazars, fake Jews. This is instructions for real Israelites who have been carried away captive in the 4 corners of the earth.
And that's the reason why when we stand, we face towards our homeland to pray, the Bible instructs us to do that. So that's why when you see us stand up and face towards the east, and we got our palms in the air, making supplication to our Lord, that's why we do the things that we do. Because the Bible instructs the way. We just try to do things according to how the Bible tells us to do. That's why the Israelites are set apart people, man.
That's right. Let's get 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 2. Because we know we're in warfare, but we got our instructions how to be in war. And that's what they fail to realize. You want to put anybody, the Black Hebrew Israelite group. Well, the real Israelites know their instructions.
Right.
Thus saith the Lord. And we finna bring them things out. We ain't know, we smart enough to know we can't fight the white man with guns. You'll be foolish if you think our people so disorganized or out of order. We go try to fight. Come on, man. This dude, one of his blessings is the sword.
Come on, man.
Our blessing is the Lord. I'd rather fight with that.
Right.
Read that out. Let's see what the Lord said.
2 Corinthians 10:2. But I beseech you that I may not be bold when I am present with that confidence, wherewith I think to be bold against some, which think of us as if we walked according to the flesh.
See, they twist it because we bold. We bold against something. And they think it's all about carnal and being fleshy. No, no, no. We bold in the spirit of the Most High God. That's what they fail to realize. See, all these people is carnal. They not spiritual. They spiritually dead. That's why they can't comprehend what we really trying to tell them. Because it's a spiritual thing. Read on up.
For though we walk in the flesh.
So though we walk in the flesh, in these vessels that we in. Read on.
We do not war after the flesh.
We not warring after the flesh. Because we already know. Esau cut your water off. He'd cut your lights off. Most people can't even survive. You get your lights cut off, they already dead.
It's cold out there, man.
They cut that water off, you already dead. Without one bullet being fired. They did it to us in Jerusalem back in 70 AD. They just waited us out. They cut off all supply, had us eating our babies. You think they won't do it again? They'll do it again and again and again and again because they some cruel, horrible people, man. Read on up.
Verse 4, for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
Read that again.
For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds.
But mighty through who?
But mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds. Casting down imagination and every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ.
See, that's what they mad about. Because we pulling down them strongholds. We cast down them imaginations, those lies that they've been pushing for all these years. We bring everything that exalted itself against the knowledge of the Most High God. We going against that thing. And since we in Babylon, that means everything in this place goes against the knowledge of the Most High God. So we got a problem with everything in this place. So they say, oh, they hate. You're damn right we hate. We hate every evil way.
That's right.
Because everything around us is abominable and evil towards our God.
Matter of fact, read verse 5 again, man.
Verse 5, casting down imagination.
It said casting down the imagination. Because guess what? We were taught, hey man, don't question God. But the Bible casts down all the imagination. Because guess what? That our mothers taught they children that, and they just passed down the line. Because the slave owner said that. But they said, that's the book, that's the slave, that's the book of the slave master gave us this book, man. No, the slave master didn't let us read this book.
That's right.
And they taught us how to read the book on their own accord.
That's right.
But we going in and actually open this book up and showing you how to interpret those things, because the Bible interprets it itself, man. We don't know.
Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalted itself.
And every high thing they exalted, man, look here. Whatever the pastor say, that's what we do. And we ain't finna question God. Man, look here. Woe to the man that trusted in men that make it arms and flesh, man. We cannot do that thing, man. We got to go into the Bible, filter your whole lifestyle through this Bible. You won't lose, man. No matter what destruction and things going on around you, you might lose this and might lose this, and this right here might go on. But guess what? As long as you keep filtering things through this Bible, there's no failing in this, man. The Lord said we shall not be condemned nor ashamed, man. We the world without end. We don't know.
And against every high thing that exalted itself against the knowledge of God, and bring it into captivity.
You said against every high thing that exalted itself, man. It's the world. The world. That's why the Lord said, "I pray for them. I pray not for the world, man."
Right.
We don't.
And bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ.
Because guess what? When Christ hit the scene, every knee will bow and every tongue will confess, man. It's gonna happen, man. Go ahead, up.
Let's get 1 Corinthians chapter 4 and verse 9. Every knee will bow. This world, this life that we live in here, this is nothing, man. We looking for the next life. We looking for eternal salvation. And they can't comprehend that. We ain't worried about these people, man. They had their chance when we was in darkness to get us. And the Lord didn't let them get us dead. So you think I'm worried about them now? When I was doing wrong, when I was selling dope on the corners, packing pistols, and being a hoodlum, they had their shot dead. Because I was right there wide open, just like the rest of our people. All of us. They had their chance. It's over now. They done messed up. Bring that out.
1 Corinthians 4 and 9.
Mm-hmm.
For I think that God had set forth us the apostles last, as it were appointed to death.
As it was appointed to death. We ain't scared to die for this thing, man. We the warriors for our nation. And a bunch all these coons in our nation, they don't even comprehend. They don't comprehend kingdom. They don't comprehend having a king. They don't comprehend having warriors. They don't comprehend that stuff. They don't comprehend being a nation. This is what sets us apart from even our own people. They comfortable being in somebody else's nation. We want our own kingdom, man. We taking the kingdom back, thus saith the Lord, man. Read on out.
For we are made a spectacle unto the world.
They trying to make us a spectacle.
Black Hebrew Israelites. That's a spectacle. It's like we say, you won't find it in the Bible. And guess what? Everybody knew from the beginning of Genesis that everybody in the Bible was black.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so to even put that stigma on our people, they making a spectacle out of us, man. You know, saying that we are other. Because you know, when you put black in front of it, oh, we know that the original was what? White.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so we got to break that nonsense, man.
That's right. Read on out.
We are made a spectacle unto the world, and to angels, and to men.
He's trying to make us a spectacle to the angels and to men, man. But it's all right, because we got a hedge of protection around us.
Mm-hmm.
The angels protect us. Read on out.
We are fools for Christ's sake.
We are what out?
Fools for Christ's sake.
Yeah, we fools for Christ's sake. Oh, look at them out there with them dresses on. Look at them. They look with their Power Ranger outfits on. We'll be all that. We'll be all that. Keep the same energy. When them skies crack, I want them to keep that same energy. Ask them F-18 Super Hornet pilots in the Navy how they felt when they were seeing them things up there and they ain't know what to do. So y'all on the ground, keep that same energy when Christ come back. Matter of fact, keep that same energy on your deathbed when you crying out to the Father.
Keep that same energy when you can't pay your bills.
Yeah.
Keep that same energy when you stub your toe against the bed and it will not stop bleeding. You got to go to the hospital and they got to cut the toe off. Keep the same energy, man.
Mm-hmm.
Keep the same energy when you get a paper cut and it won't stop bleeding and you got to get rushed to the hospital and get some stitches for a paper cut. Keep that same energy.
And keep that same energy with the white man foot on your neck. Read 10 again.
We are fools for Christ's sake.
We are fools for Christ's sake. You right? That's right. I am.
But ye are wise in Christ.
But we wise in Christ. Because we know what he came to do.
Now,
we know what he gonna do.
how can we know that we wise in Christ? How do we know we wise? You got a precept back there, Shaya? I'm gonna show you about our wisdom. I bring this out probably twice a month. Deuteronomy 4 and 6. This is our wisdom. We want to know our wisdom. We go back to our wisdom every time.
Deuteronomy 4 and 6.
Mm-hmm.
Keep therefore and do them.
This is keep the law, statutes, and commandments and do them. Read.
For this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations.
This is our wisdom and understanding in sight of all the nations. Man, read.
Which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people.
He said, surely this nation is a wise and understanding people because we got the wisdom of the Most High God and His Son right here. This is the Word of God.
That's right.
Let's go back.
Let's finish it out. Great no preaching.
We are fools for Christ's sake,
Mm-hmm.
but ye are wise in Christ.
Mm-hmm.
We are weak, but ye are strong.
Uh-huh.
Ye are honorable, but we are despised.
The Lord said we honorable, but we despise to the world. They despise us, man. And we ain't did nothing to them. And that just show you the power of the Most High, that he own us. For the other nations to hate us like they do. And you ain't have to touch them. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 58, verse 1. Because this is what a real Israelite brother or sister is, the Lord told us to do this. He didn't tell us to go out there with no guns or no swords or nothing like this. He told us to come out in Isaiah 58 and 1. And they hate that thing, man, because we ain't sparing no feelings. But it's the way y'all talking to us. Look at the way you act. Now Negro want to be talked to all sweet. If we talk to you sweet, it still ain't gonna do nothing. Read that out.
Isaiah 58 and 1. Cry aloud.
What did the Lord say?
Cry aloud.
They want to equate us crying aloud to the KKK. They burning crosses and hanging people. We crying aloud.
Spare not.
We ain't sparing no feelings. This is what the Lord told us to do. Read on.
Lift up thy voice like a trumpet.
Lift up our voice like a trumpet. He ain't say talk like a woman, like an effeminate. And our women harder than these coons out here in Christianity. Our women crying louder than them weak effeminate men up and down. Read on.
And show my people their transgression.
The Lord said to show his people their transgressions. How you gonna get into the kingdom if you don't know you sinning?
Can't judge, man.
We can judge righteous. Read on.
And the house of Jacob, their sin.
In the house of Jacob, they sins. The Most High commanded us to do that. That's our mission statement when we go after. To do that right there. Not to put hands on nobody. We ain't coming out here to fight our people. We ain't coming out there to fight nobody. But for whatever reason, people want to, oh, y'all the black KKK. Show me how we are that. And false witness on us, man. First of all, they cowards. We're not.
That one scripture cuss that you can't judge, because the Most High commanded us to go out there and show his people what they doing wrong.
Exactly. But they don't believe in the Bible. That's a white man book.
Let me get Romans chapter 13, verse 1 to kind of just bag up what Captain Nehemiah is going into. Because, like we say, when you know you're an Israelite, guess what? You're going to do the things that's in the Bible. So we know these things are, this is not a physical fight, man, to keep reiterating that, man. You know, we got to wait on the Lord, man. He said, vengeance is his, man. You know, he going to repay the things that was done to us. Read that, Officer Yara.
Romans 13 and 1. Let every soul be subject unto the higher power.
Read that again.
Let every soul be subject unto the higher power.
Hey, the higher powers that be, guess what? They are ordained of the Most High God. Esau is in rulership because what? The Most High has them there. Read on up.
For there is no power but of God.
Read on up.
The powers that be are ordained of God.
So guess what? They ruling because the Most High God ordained them. Because guess what? We ultimately broke the commandments. So, you know, we in this predicament because of what we did. So to get up out of this predicament, guess what? We got to keep the commandments. So we should be going against principalities. Guess what? In a physical manner. But guess what? We're going to read these scriptures and raise up our nation and tell them to keep the commandments. Read on now.
Whosoever therefore resisted the power, resisted the ordinance of God.
So that translated to today, if you want to take up arms and go and fight Esau, guess what? You resisting the power of the Most High God. He told us not to do that, man. We don't know how many times we got to bring this out. Read on up.
And they that resist shall receive to themselves damnation.
And when you want to go on your own accord and try to pick up arms against Esau in this kingdom, you're going to receive damnation, man. Your bugger hind going to be put to death, man. Read on up.
For rulers are not a terror to good works.
For rulers, the people that are beat, they ain't a terror to good works. What's the good works? Brother Shakar, what's the good works? You got a precept for it? The book of Romans, chapter 7, verse 12. That's what the good works are. That's what we should be doing. So when we keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, guess what? We don't worry about no evil that's coming upon us, man. Read on up.
But So like we're going to start over.
Yes,
For
start over.
rulers are not a terror to good works, but to the evil.
But to the evil. So when we got a wicked brother or sister that want to be disorderly or don't want to keep the commandments, that's where you see them fall off the map, man. Not wearing your fringes, not keeping the Sabbath, not keeping the high holy days, eating abominable food. Read on up.
Wilt thou then not be afraid of the power?
Now, who are you? You ain't gonna be afraid of the Most High God's power, man. He has the power over life and death, man. Read on up.
Do that which is good.
Do that which is what?
Which is good.
Read on up.
And thou shalt have praise for the same.
That means keep
Of
the
the same.
commandments, man. We're gonna have praise, man, from the Most High God. Go ahead,
Let's get Matthew chapter 10, verse 16. You read that down to chapter 28. I read it. This is Christ's words, and He's giving us some instructions in here too. Matthew chapter 10, verse 16.
The book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 16. Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves.
The Lord said He sent us forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Read on.
Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves.
We supposed to be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. Now, how that brother do that? That's harmless as a dove or wise as a serpent, because it only gonna bring heat to other Israelites. If you actually was a practicing Israelite, you would know that this is just gonna bring heat to other Israelites and make it harder for us to do our work. So that's not. If he is a so-called Israelite, that's not following the commandments. If that situation actually happened, read on.
But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues.
And we know this. We know they're gonna try to deliver us up to the council. We know they're gonna try to scourge us in their synagogues, but we gonna stand firm in the Most High God. Read on.
And ye shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake.
For whose sake?
For my sake. For a testimony against them and the Gentiles.
We're gonna be brought forth. We're gonna have Israelite brothers. Israelite brothers have already been going through that. They trying to send Brother Maccabee, Captain Maccabees do stuff with their little tickets and stuff in their courts. So we know they would do it because they already been doing it. The pull-up boys, all these different acts that they trying to do. All they gonna do is ramp it up against us. So Christ already told us that this was gonna happen. So we should not be surprised or shocked when it happens. Read on.
But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what ye shall speak.
So when you go in front, if you do have to go in front of that judge or in front of the police, don't worry about what you're gonna say. Because why?
For it shall be given you in that same hour what ye shall speak.
The Lord gonna tell us what to speak. Just like right now, He tell us what to speak. We ain't speaking our own word. We speaking thus saith the Lord. Read on.
To death, and the father, the child, and the children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death.
We going through that right now. Black on black crime. Read on.
And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's
What
sake.
did the Lord say?
And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake.
We are definitely hated of all men for the Most High's and Yahweh's name's sake, because we preaching His word. Read. Hold up. And just to prove that fact, is they coming against Christian preachers that say they using the Bible? It's thousands of them, hundreds of thousands of them preaching Christian doctrine. Is anybody coming against them?
No.
But we using the same Bible, reading the same words, verbatim, and they got a problem with that. Read.
And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. But he that endureth to the end shall be saved.
But we have to endure. I don't feel like they can do nothing worse to me than what they had already done to me. So I'm going to endure. We have to endure. This is going through the fire, people. We got to show the Most High God that we are worthy. We ain't them coons out here that's part of this nation. We ain't them those fake Jews and none of. We the real deal, man. We the real deal Holyfield. And we got to show the Most High that we serious about this thing. Each and every last one of us. Read on.
But when they persecute you in this city, flee ye into another.
Mm-hmm.
For verily I say unto you, ye shall not have gone over the cities of Israel till the Son of Man be come.
So if they persecute us in this city, we just gonna go to another city and another city. Like brothers is already doing. We already doing this. That's how we know this book is real, man. Brothers ain't just wake up one day and say, oh, I'm gonna go teach the Bible and teach it in this fashion. We had to be woke up to do it like this because we was in Christianity. We could be, if we preaching the Christian doctrine, nobody wouldn't say nothing. You know, brother, God loves everybody, brother. Jesus died for all our sins. Wouldn't be a word spoken.
What scripture is that?
But ain't no scripture to go with that. See, John 3:16. And we would just been fine. But see, when we dissect this Bible and do what the Lord said, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little, oh, then the real truth start coming out. Read on out.
The disciple is not above his master,
Mm-hmm.
nor the servant above his Lord.
Mm-hmm.
It is enough for the disciple that he be as his master, and the servant as his Lord. If they have called the master of the house Beelzebub,
That's the devil.
how much more shall they call them of his household?
So didn't they try to call Christ the devil? Ain't we of his household? They want to call us devils too. They want to label us a hate group. They want to label us violent. No, we was violent when we was in the streets, when we was coming against our own people. That's when we was a hate group, and that's when we was violent. Nah, we love our people. We love our God, and we doing what's right according to the Lord. And they got a problem with that because they ain't trying to do what the Lord say do.
That's it.
Right.
Read on.
Fear them not, therefore, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, and hid that shall not be known.
The Lord said, don't fear them. They ain't hiding nothing. Everything gonna be revealed, just like it is, just like we revealing them as the fake Jews they are, as the devil that the Bible speaks of. They propaganda that they trying to push, these bywords that they trying to put on us, we revealing them. It's the truth. That's why they hate it. Read.
That shall not be revealed, and hid that shall not be known.
Mm-hmm.
What I tell you in darkness, that speak ye in light, and what ye hear in the ear, that preach ye upon the housetop.
Preach it where?
Upon the housetop.
Preach it where?
Upon the housetop.
He ain't say be up in your building, just talking to the select group of people that's willing to pay enough money to sit on the front row. Go to the housetop. He said go to the highways and byways. Go to the hedges. Go where the people at. Cry aloud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet. This sound like that he want this word to go out. Read.
And fear not them which kill the body.
And do what out?
And fear not them which kill the body.
The Lord told us don't fear the one that can kill the body. But what?
But are not able to kill the soul.
Mm-hmm.
But rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body and hair.
And that's who we fear, the Most High God, man. We don't fear no heathens and no Gentiles and no coons out here. They ain't what we fearing. So they can push all the propaganda they want. This word's still gonna go out. And it ain't gonna go out void. Our fear goes towards the Most High. And these people need to fear for what he gonna do to this place, man. We'll get one more precept and we go in this thing. Let's go to Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 10. Because our instructions is in the Bible on how we need to move in this wicked place. And like the brother said, if we adhere to what the Bible say, and we filter our life through the Bible, we don't have to worry about none of this stuff. Because when I was in the world, I used to worry about the police all the time. But I had warrants, I had tickets, I'm riding dirty, and I'm doing stuff that I wasn't supposed to be doing. But since I've been in this truth, man, the police don't even look at me. They don't even look my direction. I be tripping. I be like, I'm looking at the police. They not even looking at me. But when I was in the world, it was like they were sharks. Like they can sense the blood in the water. Like they know I got a warrant. You dipping, trying to go this way to avoid them. They
Run right into it.
run right into them. Woo! Dang. Man, not no more. You got that out?
Ephesians 6, verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might.
Read that up.
Ephesians 6 and 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of
The
God.
Lord told us to put on the whole armor of God, not part of it. Don't just put on one side of the armor. He said, put on the whole armor of God. Read.
That ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
Because we got to stand tall against these devils, man. They're going to try to take us down. But like I said, they can't do no worse than with the stuff they was already doing to us. This the only difference is now we doing what the Lord said. And like, if you go look in Genesis, when we was going, taking the land of Canaan, when we had the Lord with us, when we was doing what we was supposed to do with him, he did the fighting for us. But every time we slacked off and we went against the Lord, we got our butts kicked, man. You think we don't know this? You think we finna run out here trying to fight these people and our nation ain't in order? Lord gonna be looking at us, y'all do what you do then. So we can get demolished. We ain't doing that, man. We gonna fight the spiritual war because we know they can't touch us with that. Read on.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood.
We don't wrestle against flesh and blood. But what we do,
but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness.
Against what?
Against spiritual wickedness in high places.
That's the only way we can get to them people that's doing wickedness in high places. The president had to open his mouth. We get to them spiritually. We can't touch them. We can't touch them physically, but we can touch them spiritually.
Yeah. But you know what? You got to look at the blessed side of the thing too. Because I know we're finna close the class. But guess what? Now the people see that on the news, Black Hebrew Israelites. Now it's gonna be some of our people, man. Who the hell is the Black Hebrew Israelites now? Gotcha, Esau.
That's right.
Gotcha.
It's more people see about the Hebrew Israelites from them putting it on their TV than all the YouTubes that we can do together. They put it on CNN, like when the pull-up boys, that situation. You think people ain't gonna see what that was about?
Checkmate.
That's millions of people. We touching thousands. When they put it on their tube, it's touching millions. So whether the good or the bad, we already know a majority of the people is gonna be against us in the first place. And 2/3 of our people ain't gonna get it. But we need it to touch that elect.
That's right.
Read on up.
Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God.
What is it, Doc?
Which is the word of God.
What is it, Doc?
Which is the word of God.
That is our weaponry right there. And that's what we gonna stand on. Thus saith the Lord, man. Because we are the real Israelites. We are the real Jews that the Bible speaks of. And this is how the Most High told us to move according in the land of our captivity. So they can kill that mess, man. Let's bring out that law.
Let me get the book of Exodus chapter 23 and verse 7. They kind of lump it together. Because like we say, this is not, I also want Zechariah 4 and 6 too. But read that off to y'all.
Book of Exodus, chapter 23, verse 7. Keep thee far from a false matter.
So all false matters, if it's not pertaining to the scriptures, guess what? Keep that out of your life, out of your business, man. Because a lot of false matters can have our brothers and sisters going two ways. Read on up.
And the innocent and righteous slay thou not.
And the innocent and the righteous, we shouldn't slay them, either physically or spiritually. Give me Zechariah 4 and 6.
For I will not justify the wicked.
Because guess what? He ain't going to justify that thing at all. Now give me Zechariah.
Book of Zechariah, chapter 4, verse 6. Then he answered and spake unto me, saying, this is the word of the Lord unto Zerubbabel, saying, not by might,
Not by what?
not by might,
Read on now.
nor by power,
Not a physical fight out here, brothers and sisters. Read on now.
but by my spirit.
But by the words of the Bible. We always got to keep that in mind. Be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. Read on now.
Said the Lord of hosts.
Said the Lord of hosts.
And with that, we say shalom.
Go ahead, Jeremiah.